So you're thinking about making a move from out of state to Utah. Well, today we're going to be chatting about what some of the pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages may be for you before you pack your bags and head out here to the Beehive State. Mariah Koehle here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. This channel is all about moving here to Utah, relocating to Utah, living in Utah, buying real estate in Utah. If that is of interest to you, consider subscribing down below and make sure you tap that bell for notifications so you're notified every single week we drop a new video. My team and I help people like you all the time and help make that transition easier. So if you have any questions, shoot us a text, send us an email, give us a call, days, nights, weekends. We'd love to connect with you. Also, if you do want a copy of our free Moving to Utah guide, comment down below the word guide, G-U-I-D-E, and we would love to send over that free guide to you. So you're thinking about packing your bags, making a move here to the Beehive State, and you're kind of a little bit on the fence and you're doing your research, which is awesome because guess what? I did exactly the same thing when my family of 6, when my husband and I and our 4 kids decided to pack up and leave, and we decided to come here to Utah. And for us, it has been a phenomenal fit. It is, like I say, it is not the right fit for everyone, but it is a good fit for a lot of people. In fact, it was interesting when my family and I, when we relocated from San Diego to Utah, I had met a lady who was moving her family from Utah to California in the exact same area that we were moving to. We literally were doing like this swap, right? And I just recently, after 4.5 years, she actually just moved back from San Diego to Utah. And we were talking about like, oh, well, what are some of the reasons that you moved back and why, why Utah and why move And so it was just really, really interesting. And so today I'm going to just share with you some of the things that you should probably be aware of. Utah, as you know, has 4 seasons. California, depending on where you're at, has 4 seasons, or depending on where you're at in that area. For example, I was in San Diego, so it didn't feel like we had 4 seasons, but there were different seasons. You had the May gray and the June gloom, and where it was kind of gloomy. And then during the winter time, you sometimes, depending on the year, it would be rainy. So you kind of have your rainy season and everything. But again, there were 4 seasons, but it really didn't feel like a lot like 4 seasons. Here in Utah, depending on whether you're in southern Utah or northern Utah, you're going to have more of a feel of 4 seasons. If you're in northern Utah, you're going to have the snowy winter. If you're in southern Utah, you're going to have a winter that is very mild and it's going to be sunny. Both places in Utah are going to be sunny many, over 200 days out of the year are going to be sunny. So you're still going to experience a lot of sun here in Utah, winter, spring, summer, or fall. Fall here in Utah, you're going to have a change of seasons. You're going to have all those beautiful fall colors. Spring, you're going to have the gorgeous flowers that are coming out, and summers are going to be hot and dry. You're not going to experience a lot of humidity here simply because it is just a very dry sort of place. So know that going in. So number 1 is the weather. Number 2, a lot of Californians, I know specifically, they love being active and outdoors and stuff. And I know a big draw for a lot of people that move here from California. They're like, I love the scenery. I love being outdoors. I like the 4 seasons where I can go skiing and I can go snowboarding, but then I can also go mountain biking and kayaking, canoeing, take my boat out, do all those different things. So I hear from a lot of people just like that who are looking at living a really active lifestyle and are switching out one really active place for another. I hear a lot of times people move here too because they're like, simply financially, it makes a lot more sense moving here to Utah where it's a flat tax state, 4.55% for income tax, and then property tax, if it is your primary residence, you're looking at 0.5%. If it is an investment property, you're looking at 1% of that assessed value. So for many people, financially, it makes more sense to buy here as opposed to where they were living before. A lot of people say, you know what, I'm looking for a safe place. I'm looking for a place that doesn't feel so dirty and that is clean. You are going to experience that in Utah. I've actually been so pleasantly surprised. And one of the things when I was talking with this friend of mine, that we kind of did like the swap where she moved here and I moved there, and then, vice versa. Well, one of the things she's like, I'm looking for more community. I want to be closer to my family. I want to, have my kids go to some really good schools, that not that they weren't going to good schools before, but just, said like, I'm just looking for more activities for my kids. I'm looking for more for them to do and not be in the car constantly driving all the way, all over the place and sitting in tons of traffic. One of the things, here in Utah, we have experienced more traffic, more congestion over the years, just simply because our population is growing. But compared to California, the traffic doesn't even compare. I remember when I was living in California, I was born in Northern California, and then my husband and I relocated down to Southern California, and we lived in Southern California for 15 years. And when we were down there, when I have my degrees are in education, and so I ended up teaching elementary school for many years. And my commute, if everything was like going smoothly and there wasn't any accidents, my commute was about an hour each way. And so I spent over 2 hours every single day on the road. And so having that, the traffic, the congestion, here in Utah, I have time freedom. I have time freedom where I'm not constantly in the car commuting. And when I drop my kids off at school, it takes me 3 minutes to get my kids to school. A lot of people will send their kids on the buses. My kids go to a charter school, so they don't offer buses for the charter school. But a lot of, all the other public schools, the bus stops literally comes right in front of my house. I'm like, oh, that would have been really nice. And the buses are safe and they're clean and they don't have problems on them. So it's just one of those things too, where Utah has a lot in the way to offer, for just people in everyday life. Just that convenience. And like I said, for me, that time convenience, that, for people, it's time convenience, it's financial freedom, it's, the cost of living. Cost of living is much less here in Utah than it is in California. And so I know I've helped a lot of Californians relocate or buy rental properties or do 1031 exchanges with properties that they've had. And every single time they're just like, I can't believe how nice this is. Like, I just can't believe how great this is. And I know a lot of people, will say like, oh, well, we don't want Californians in Utah, or, leave all your California ways behind. A lot of people I've experienced, that have moved here to Utah already like very like-minded thinker of whatever. And so I think there's a lot of people, at least that I've helped, that are like, gosh, I've been missing this. I've wanted this for my family. I've wanted this for our lifestyle. And the lifestyle that you are going to get here in Utah, I've just noticed a lot of times people take the opportunities to spend a lot of time with their families, or spend time outdoors, or spend time doing the things that they want to be doing. Where at least, in California, where we were, it seems like a lot of people, yes, they would still get to do things that they wanted to do, but there was so much in that like rat race and the hustle and the bustle and the the long commutes and getting your kids everywhere, that it just felt like, oh, it was hard to kind of catch your breath. And the pace of life is a lot faster. For some people, they're like, I love the pace in California, it's amazing. And then other people come here and they're like, oh man, I love, like, this is just, it feels slower, it feels, better. But other people come here and they're like, oof, feels just a little too slow, So I always say, plan your trip. If you are thinking about moving, relocating here to Utah, reach out to me. I can give you a copy of our free Moving to Utah guide. Comment down below the word guide, GUIDE, and I'd love to send that out. Also, if you're coming out here, I love to help plan. If you want help planning like a scouting trip, tell me what you're looking for. My team and I can help point you in the direction of what might be the best fit for you based on the information that you give us. And so hopefully, again, this gives you a little idea about, the scenery, the pace of life, cost of living, jobs, all of that here, why people are making a move. Again, I always say it's not the right fit for everyone, but it's the right fit for a lot of people. And I know for my family and I, it's been an incredible fit. And recently we brought our family back to San Diego, and I told the kids, I was like, hey, you guys ready to move back? And they're like, why? Why? This is a great place to visit, but we love our everyday life here in Utah. So wishing you a fantastic rest of your day and week. And again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to shoot me a text, send me an email, give me a call, and I would love to connect with you. Wishing you a great day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.